Hey kiddies, it's Triple Feature Tuesday once again, and this week we explore why angels are assholes. That's right, 9 times out of 10, angels in movies are just, the best things ever. They're bailing people out of trouble, guardian angels, or they're trying to, get star-crossed lovers together and do all sorts of wonderful things at God's behest. But every so often, angels are just the worst. And so we're going to look at that this week and try to figure out why they're doing the things that they're doing. And we're going to go in order of increasing horribleness to the world and or universe. So our menu is going to include Legion, The Prophecy, and Dogma, with honorable mention to Michael. God, Legion. I don't understand why this wasn't better. Because, I mean, it's a pretty neat premise. You got, God has decided that humans are done. You failed, you blew it, I'm sick of this shit, it's time for us to see other people. So he sends all of his angels down to Earth to lay waste to everything. And being obedient angels, they go forth to do just that. Except for the Archangel Michael, played by Paul Bettany, who decides that no, humanity is worth fighting for. So he renounces God's will, arms himself to the teeth, and goes to the so-on-the-nose named Paradise Falls Diner. It may as well have come out of a Mad Lib to protect humanity's one last hope, the baby growing inside of Adrian Palicki. And Adrian is surrounded by, well, to call them cookie-cutter archetypes would be insults to cookies, because cookies are wonderful. We love cookies. They're all boring people. I mean, that's what's kind of like the recurring problem with this movie, is just everything's sort of boring, and I don't understand why, because everything could have been good. Paul Bettany, he's just sort of there, and, in a better world, this wouldn't even be the triple feature we'd be doing. We'd be doing the Paul Bettany is suddenly an action star and fighting a horde of monsters, paired up with, Priest and some other movie that still doesn't exist. But he's Michael, and he's, grizzled, or as grizzled as Paul Bettany can get. Just lovely, though, don't get me wrong. And eventually he has to go up against the Archangel Gabriel, played by the always wonderful Kevin Durant. I mean, he's just so weird. I mean, he's probably like a very straightforward guy, but his voice is so unique that everything always sounds interesting whenever he says it, and they have like a big knockdown drag out. And the thing of it is, the angels aren't exactly assholes in this one. Or at the very least, they're not going against their boss. They are fulfilling God's orders. They're just being assholes to us. But, if an angel has to, weigh God, humanity, it's going to be kind of a toss-up. And, we were lucky that we had anybody on our side. So there's that. But yeah, this movie, it's just kind of there. I mean, not even the monsters are particularly interesting. They're all just kind of the time. This is like a lot of like people, like an old lady all of a sudden skidding around and being scary, and then other people just, being sort of vaguely defined zombie-like automatons. Except for the only like really neat looking one is, of course, Doug Jones as this kind of super stretchy, angular ice cream man. But he's not even in it that long, so it's just the angels are the assholes, but the movie just not that great. And this is a movie with Dennis Quaid, Charles Dutton, Lucas Black, Adrian Palicki. I don't understand what went wrong here, let alone why enough people thought it went right to give it a spin-off television show. I believe it was called Dominion. Okay. Next up, we have The Prophecy, which is sort of the exact opposite of Legion in terms of not a lot of special effects and goofiness, but fascinating movie. Written and directed by Greg Weiden of Highlander fame. He's the one that came up with that. He seems to have a penchant for high-concept sci-fi fantasy type of movies that are just, neat. So, when God raised man above everything else with his son Jesus, some of the angels did not take kindly to this and decided to have another war, this time not between God and Lucifer, but between a whole bunch of angels that thought the talking monkeys are just horrible, and all of the angels that are loyal to God. In the movie, these are represented by Eric Stoltz as Simon, an angel loyal to God, and Christopher Walken as the Archangel Gabriel, who is just not having any of this talking monkey nonsense. And they are vying for the most evil soul since Hitler, so as to use that soul in their war against each other. Because as powerful and determined as both groups of angels are, apparently they're just not sneaky and evil enough. So a battle ensues over this soul, the soul of a Colonel Hawthorne, which gets embedded in a young girl named Mary, and they got to exorcise Mary and protect her from Gabriel, who is an asshole. Oh, Christopher Walken just owns this movie. Every other line of dialogue is completely quotable. He is going around as if nothing on the planet Earth can harm him. So I would imagine it's just acting like it's any other day for Christopher Walken. But he's also such a jerk to people. He needs to employ certain human operatives, and he gets them by taking people that are about to die and helping them die slower until, he has run out of use for them. They include a woman who was in a coma and basically brain dead and about to go to heaven, played by Amanda Plummer, who's not having any of it, and a really great little performance by Andrew Goldberg as a man that had been trying to commit suicide and is now being cursed to live until Gabriel's done with him, and so nobody's having fun with that at all. Throughout the movie, he is just nothing but sarcastic and making ironic jokes because he's an angel and knows everything and humans don't, to our main characters, police detective Thomas Daggett, played by the always wonderful Elias Koteas. I'm also wearing a wig. I think both Elias Koteas and Christopher Walken are wearing wigs. It's sort of a wiggy type of movie. But Elias Koteas has teamed up with Virginia Madsen and trying to protect Mary and help out Simon. So all of it is really good. And if that wasn't enough, you have Lucifer showing up about 2/3 of the way through it, played by a pre-Lord of the Rings Viggo Mortensen, to spectacular effect. If you thought Gabriel was a jerk, Lucifer, he just hates everything, but needs people for about 5 minutes to maybe bring this war to an end and get back to torturing people and thumbing his nose at God. And love the prophecy. Whereas in Legion, the angels are doing God's bidding. They're just being jerks to us. In this one, most of the angels that we end up dealing with don't give a shit about humans at all, and they're sort of fed up with God at the same time, so they're just being jerks to everybody. Finally, we have Kevin Smith's Dogma, in which Matt Damon and Ben Affleck play the still angels, but no longer in the service of God, Loki and Bartleby, respectively. They were exiled from heaven for not necessarily renouncing God, but asking God, why are we murdering people? And for this, they were banished to live outside of either, I think it's Milwaukee for the rest of the universe, basically. But they discover a loophole which would allow them to get back into heaven, so they lunge straight for that. Unfortunately, if they manage to go through with it, it would mean that God is wrong, and God can never be wrong, and so it would unmake the universe. So, whereas the angels in Legion were just jerks to humans, and the angels in the prophecy were jerks to humans and God, Loki and Bartleby are setting up to destroy the entire universe. Because they are just tired of Milwaukee. Or maybe it's Michigan. Either way. But along the way, on their road trip to New Jersey to finally get back into heaven, because as we all know, Jersey is the gateway to heaven. They end up torturing the clergy, murdering idolaters, murdering adulterers, and just being mean to just about everybody that crossed their path, which just adds to the jerkiness of it. I'm not gonna lie though, I really like them in this movie. I mean, I like Dogma, just soup to nuts. But man, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are really a lot of fun in this because it's like all the bonding and the camaraderie that you liked from Good Will Hunting, but they're complete assholes. Like there's no character that's trying to better himself or hopes the other one will better themselves. They're just being jerks the whole time, and they look like they're having a lot of fun, which ends up for the audience having a lot of fun. And mercifully, God comes in and saves the day at the end, played by, or I thought it was a really cute role by Alanis Morissette, but I seem to be in the minority on that. But, screw you, it's my triple feature. And finally, just, quick honorable mention, Michael, John Travolta. No life and death struggles in this one. It's more like a little morality tale. But in the middle of it, John Travolta is playing Michael, and he's just an asshole. He's just going around. He's like a frat boy that never grew out of being a frat boy, except he's an angel, so he also has superpowers. And it's, not a great movie, but it's a charming little movie. William Hurt, Annie McDowell, Robert Pastorelli. It's just a good little time. But, these are 4 movies in which angels are assholes instead of, trying to help us out and be nice or do anything good for anybody. They're just going around being jerks. Except for Paul Bettany, but he was still going against God, so he's not, completely not a jerk. But anyway, I'll see you guys next week.